Hello everyone, this is John Clayberg with some explanations on our stock system and how that is basically an overnight swing trading, if you will, system that does not typically take day trades or switch positions intraday. Here is a stock of Celgene, this chart of Celgene, this is probably one of our better stocks in the system at this point. And when I talk about a swing system, here's what I'm talking about. If we look here in this portion of the chart, we had a buy signal here on June 16th. We did take off 3 targets prior to reversing back over here again on the 26th. Got 1 target, reversed long on the 30th. And notice we're passing multiple days in this explanation. We've only, between the 28th, between the 30th and the 16th, which is essentially 2 weeks, we had 2 reversals. We had the initial opening trade and reverse short here. Now we're doing the same thing. We're long here on the 30th. We reverse short on the 6th, back long on the 10th. Now we didn't get much of a profit out of this. We got a minor profit out of this. Didn't get much here. But look here, we got long on the 10th, and when we gapped higher on the 15th, and we caught all this trade. Now the point and we can go back here a little further if you want to see some of these other setups. If we go back to the first part of the chart, this is our initial trade that we got stopped out for a small loss, got reversed here, took another target, and here's the previous long trade that we looked at a couple of minutes ago. Point here is that the system is an overnight swing trading system. This is not a day trading system. It will hold positions overnight and hopefully capitalize on long-term trends and overnight changes in the stock itself. Now, if we want to take a look at what can also happen, you need to be aware that all trends do not continue to be equal and do not continue to manipulate themselves in the same direction. Now, in the next day after the first part of this video, I did this screen capture. Here's our long trade that we got into. Come up here, caught a couple targets, went out here, and then we reversed short. Turned out that didn't work very well, and just a few minutes, well, let's see, it's 39-minute bar, so maybe an hour and a half later, we reverse back long. Well, that happens at the end of a long trend sometimes, but usually when the system or the market is just a little sideways, like you see here, when we have a short downtrend and a short uptrend and another short downtrend, when the system will interpret that as a trend change and try to take a short position here and then try to take a long position here. So this can happen on days when the market is sideways. Even though the system is set up to operate as a long-term swing system or overnight system, if you will, we don't necessarily completely block intraday reversals. We can change the system such that intraday reversals do not occur. However, obviously I've tested this one. It does reduce the overall output of the system upwards of 50% return. We could easily cut our return on this system by 50% by eliminating all the daytime reversals. Problem with the intraday reversals is it can mess up it can mess up any trading, but it can also mess up any option strategies that you may implement using this chart or these systems as a guide to implement those option strategies. Keep in mind that we're programming a system to do the same thing each time. And that can be really good and that can be really bad. It can be really good because we pick up the proper trade every time it comes along. It can be real bad because, same reason, it does the same thing every time. If the sideways market is such that it gets tricked into following a trend that doesn't develop, that's part of system trading. That's part of what happens. That's why we call these things downtrends. That's what happens when we hit a sideways market and we can't figure out the trend. Now, when we do figure out the trend, as I pointed out before, we have pretty darn good luck following this thing. So just to emphasize how stock signals are created by this system, keep in mind that all the trades you see generated here, this long, this short, and this subsequent long that created the reversal that we didn't want, are created using the same set of criteria. We have specified functions that create trades in the system, and they do not change from one to the other. It may look different, completely different to a person's eye. That's why we use systems. Remember that even though this turned out to be a very profitable signal and these two didn't, they were both generated by the exact same criteria that we use to generate signals in this system. So just keep in mind that intraday reversals can occur. It can happen 2 or 3 times in a row. It might happen more times than that in a row. For the most part, if the stock is trending, we will catch the bigger end of the trade, as you can see here. Just wanted to make everybody aware that there are good parts to a system and there's parts that aren't so good. One of those parts that's not so good is the intraday reversal. We will do what we can to reduce those occurrences, but they're not going to be totally eliminated, and you will have reversals and losses intraday if this does happen. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for listening.